AI is making me dumber. The more I use AI, the more dumb I feel in everything that I do during my day. And I am not the only one to think that way. I was actually reading an article by Andrew Diamond, and one thing he actually mentioned in his article kind of resonated with me. And he said, let me search it up. Months of working with AI have made me noticeably lazier and stupider, at least when it comes to coding. I don't use AI when I write for the very reason that writing itself is the act of organizing and clarifying my own thoughts. Letting the bot write for me would be like paying someone else to exercise for me and hoping that gets me in shape. And when I read this, I really felt it. I'm really happy with using AI. I can do a lot more than I used to. I can do it quicker than I used to. But I've lost that thing that's made my work fun and interesting. By using AI, I don't really get in the flow anymore. I have moved away from being that creative software engineer that has to think about the solutions, has to think about a feature is going to build, how it's going to fit in the entire code base, which frameworks to use. Is there a piece of code that has been written before that might do something similar? Is it going to impact some other part of the code base? There is so much thinking happening in software engineering. There is so much creativity necessary in order to write good code, to build good features. There is a flow you get into at some point during your day that gets you going. That flow where nothing matters anymore, where you don't see what's happening around. And by moving away from being the creative person to being the reviewer, to letting AI build for you, and you're just sitting back waiting for the AI to give you something that you just need to review, which, to be honest with you, you almost never review because AI writes so many lines of code that honestly it would take hours just to figure out why AI built something, how it built it, if it built it well or not. I'm saying I moved from being the software engineer to being the reviewer, to being the manager, to being the editor, but to be honest, all I'm doing is just prompting. I prompt AI to build a feature, it writes code, then I prompt AI to verify its own code, see if it can find bugs in whatever it wrote, because honestly, I'm not gonna do it. And this switch from being a creative to being an editor is killing the flow. And the more we talk about AI and the more the time passes, the more this is the direction we're taking. Even some developers in the Cloud Code team said during a conference a couple of weeks ago that they haven't written a piece of code manually for the past 6 months. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but one thing it keeps reminding me of is this analogy I heard a while ago about the army, the Marines building aircraft carriers that they didn't need just to keep practicing the skill. They would build super complex aircraft carrier, get engineers, designers, welders, planners, everybody together to keep practicing, just to keep the whole expertise alive in case ever, for some reason, in a case of emergency, it might be needed. And while the Navy and the Army is doing it that way, we in software, in product, in startups, in companies, we're going the opposite direction. We're actually getting rid of junior developers that need that training, junior developers that just don't have any knowledge, any hands-on experience, that really need this job, absorb the knowledge from senior developers. We're getting rid of them just to replace them with AI. But let me ask you a question. If we're getting rid of all the junior developers, once all the senior developers we have today are gone, who will replace them?